Hi, I'm Barry Sahajian. On this video, we're talking about a sub 5/7 in the tritone. Actually, I should put that in the other order because a tritone is included in the sub 5/7. It is also the primary ingredient in a 5/7 chord, and in this case, we're going to be using a G7th. So what is a tritone? A tritone is the distance between three whole steps. In the case of G, we start from the F to the G, that's one whole step. The G to the A is second whole step, and the A to the B is the third whole step. Or if you want to look at it in another way, it's 6 semitones or 6 half steps. And that would be from F, and then 1 F sharp, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the tritone is very dissonant. It's what makes a 7th chord a 7th chord. It's what makes a 7th chord want to move to the root or elsewhere. So it sounds like this. And if you go to the C chord, you can hear that resolution nice and clear. So there are many ways of looking at this, and the more ways you see it, the more you can use it. First of all, I'd like to point out that this was one of Jocko's favorite cliches, and you can hear it all the time, and pretty much every song he plays, it's always there. And there's many other bassists that use this. Because it's such a beautiful sound, and it's easy to play, and all you have to do is know how to use it, where you can put it. It happens on the 3rd degree and the flat 7th or the minus 7th degree of a 7th chord. So if you had taken A, for instance, you have an A, you get your major 3rd, and then you know where the flat 7 is right there. And see, the thing is, right, now as I just explained to you, it's 6 half steps apart or 3 whole steps. So we'll take that A and we'll go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's your next A 7th chord, but I want to point out that the 3rd and the flat 7 become inverted. In other words, you got the flat 7 on the top and the 3rd on the bottom. Down here you have the flat 7 on the bottom and the 3rd on the top. And once again, up here you have the 3rd on the bottom and the flat 7 on the top, so it inverts. So down here on the 5th position, where the root is on the E string on the 5th fret, you'll notice that the 3rd is a 10th up. And then your flat 7 is on the D string, 5th fret. So if you move this tritone up your 6 half tones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the top note is the flat 7. And then you have the C sharp, which is on the 11th fret of the D string, but the A, the root, is on the A string. The tritone inverts, and the root goes up to the A string. On this case, down here, A is the 5th fret of the E string, and you have the C sharp, the 3rd, a 10th away, and then the flat 7 on the D string. If we want to, let's try going up one more time. So we have the tritone. We're going to go up 6 half tones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it inverted again. We have the C sharp, which is a third, a tenth away from the root, which is on the E string, and the flat 7 on the D string. What I'd like to do right now is talk about a sub 5/7. So what is a sub 5/7? Sub 5/7 is short for substitute 5/7. The sub 5/7 has the same tritone as the 5/7. In this case, we're in G7, as you know, and we have the tritone of F and B. Now, the sub 5/7 occurs on the flat 5 away from the 5/7. So we have a G, and then we go flat 5 away from the G, we have a D flat. So what happens with the D flat when you play a sub 5/7, and that's what it is, it shares the same exact tritone as the G7. So we have a G7, the G on the 10th fret of the A string, the B on the 9th fret of the D string, and the F on the 10th fret of the G string. That's our G7. Now watch this. I'm going to play a D flat 7 in this position. Notice it has the same tritone except there's a D on there. There's also an A flat on this chord to show you. We have an A flat, a B, and an F. So in other words, the D flat has two different notes plus the tritone in comparison to the G7. G7 has G, B, D, F. And D flat 7 has D flat, F, A flat, B. So we still have that same tritone, but it gives you that nice sound of motion if you play them both together. And in jazz, they pretty much throw a sub 5/7 in as much as they can, because in jazz, they want that motion going all the time, the tension and the release, and that's the way they do it. This concludes our study of tritones and sub 5/7, but I need to continue on with a part 2 because I really couldn't get into the sub 5/7 as deeply as I wanted to, because it's a little involved, and I feel as though I need another whole video to get into that. And when I do, I'm going to combine it with walking bass lines and a lot of other uses that you can explore. 4 examples I included on this video are on my Patreon page, and there's also play-alongs, and you will find the information on the bottom of the page, the links where you can access this. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you again soon.